Hi there everyone, and welcome to this Get Strumming special, where today I'm going to talk about Paul McCartney and his usage of the ukulele. And before I begin, I just want to thank so many of you for all your kind words and comments regarding the George Harrison video that I did not so long ago. And in this video I talked about George's love of the ukulele, how he got into it, and also discussed his friends and his fellow musicians who were also ukulele nuts like he was. And also the songs they happened to use the ukulele on. Now obviously in this discussion Paul didn't use the ukulele on quite as many songs as George, but the songs that he did use them on are really worth talking about. And then later on I'm going to show you some McCartney songs that really suit the ukulele treatment. Now what you've got to remember about the Beatles is that none of them really had any formal musical education. Paul did have one or two lessons on the piano as a kid and also in the mid-1960s, but essentially they were self-taught musicians. Now this organic way of learning was really successful in fueling their ambition to learn more about their instruments, especially when in their teens John and Paul wanted to learn the B7 chord. Now obviously at the time there weren't as many books around to show them chord diagrams, but they had heard of a guy that lived at the other end of Liverpool who knew the B7 chord on the guitar. So they hot-footed it to the other side of Liverpool, got on the double-decker bus, met the guy at his house, and sure enough, there's the B7 chord. And it must have made their day that finally they got to know this mythical B7 chord from this mythical guy at the other end of the town. Now, not being able to read music might prove a bit of a problem to a lot of musicians, but to the Beatles, it didn't matter one bit. If you were to show this to Paul McCartney, one of Chopin's preludes in E minor, he might have trouble in deciphering it. However, ask him to play Lady Madonna, and it's a different story. So what this means is, if you were to give Paul McCartney a piece of sheet music like this to play off the cuff, say like a concert pianist, he'd probably struggle. However, he does possess this rare and innate ability to be able to improvise melodies and harmonies on the spot. And the same goes for musical instruments. Say if you gave him a guitar, he'd come out with a song like Blackbird, or the piano, he'd come out with Hey Jude, or Let It Be, or Martha My Dear. And the same goes for the ukulele. Give him a ukulele, and the first song he came out with was Ramon from the Ram album in 1971. Ramon, give your heart to somebody soon, right away. And in 2001, Paul had this to say about the track Ramon. Ramon is a cute little thing on the ukulele, because I used to carry one around with me in the back of New York taxis just to always have music with me. They thought I was a freak, those taxi drivers. Another point of interest with the track is that it also contains this kind of musical motif which is repeated elsewhere on the album. So you've got a bit of Ramon on side 1 and a bit of it on side 2. Now this kind of idea started on Sgt. Pepper, where they had the opening Sgt. Pepper track, and then later on side 2 you've got the Sgt. Pepper reprise to close the album as well. Also the second two lines of Ramon, who's that coming round the corner, who's that coming round the bend, can also be heard on the opening track of the 1973 Wings album Red Rose Speedway on the track Big Barn Bed. As I mentioned in my previous video about George Harrison, after George's passing, as a tribute to George, Paul would frequently play a rendition of something on the ukulele. What was especially moving about this tribute was the fact that he was using the same ukulele that George gave him, the vintage Gibson. And he'd do this at his own live concerts and the concert for George at the Albert Hall in 2002. Now he'd also tell a story about how he'd go around for tea at George's, and then after tea George would bring out all the ukuleles and pass them to all his friends. Say, fancy a bit of a strum? And Paul ended up playing this version of Something for George. Something in the way she moves attracts me like no that was included on the 2007 album Memory Almost Full, and a lot of people think it was recorded on the ukulele. However, it wasn't. It was recorded on the mandolin, and it goes like this. Everybody's gonna dance tonight. Everybody's gonna feel alright. Everybody's gonna dance around tonight. But it is as easily played on the ukulele, like this. Everybody's gonna dance tonight. Everybody's gonna feel alright. Everybody's gonna dance around tonight. Obviously, Paul only really used the ukulele when recording Ramon, but there are a whole host of other McCartney compositions that really suit the ukulele treatment. I've picked a handful of McCartney compositions that I personally like playing on the uke. Now obviously you can play any song on the ukulele, but these are my personal favourites. Now if any of them stand out to you and you think, oh, I'd love a tutorial for that, or indeed any other McCartney song, then just let me know, leave me a message in the comments section and I'll do my best to get a tutorial to you. Starting with When I Get Older, Losing My Hair, many years from now, will you still be sending me a Valentine? Birthday greeting, bottle of wine. I just see the face like they won't get the time or place where we expect you just the girl for me. And I want all the world to see we met. Your mother should know. Yeah, your mother should know. Sing it again. Knows how long I love you. You know I love you still. Will I wait a lonely lifetime? If you want me to, I will. Oh, honey pie, you are making me crazy. I'm in love but I'm lazy. So won't you please come home? Bang bang Maxwell Silver hammer came down upon her head. Bang bang Maxwell Silver hammer made sure that she was dead. But when she tries to run away and he calls her back, she comes. If there's a next time, he's okay, 'cause she's under both his thumbs. He gave me the answer to love eternally. I love you and you seem to like me. Win or lose, sing or swim, one thing is certain, we'll never give in. I woke up late this morning, my head was in a whirl. So late then I realized I lost my little girl. Turn out nice again. So here endeth my chat on Paul McCartney and the ukulele. And don't forget, if you've liked any of the snippets of McCartney songs that I've just played, then just let me know in the comments section and I'll do my best to provide you with a tutorial. So thanks again for watching and take care for now. Bye bye. Oh, yesterday, all my troubles seemed so far away. Now it looks as though